right, Aeneid Book 4, lines 331 through 361, 30 lines of Latin. Here we go. I'm going to try to move a little bit faster during this so that this isn't interminably long. So, let's see. Okay, so Dido has just given her speech, and Aeneas, this is Aeneas's response. So Dido, that is, had spoken, right? She had spoken. And then that man was holding his lumina, which are eyes, unmoved because of the warnings of Jupiter, and straining or having struggled, he was pressing down his care under his heart, or deep within his heart. At last, he replies a few things, and he says, I will never deny, right? So this is the future tense here. I will never deny, Regina, Queen, that you have deserved the very many things which you are able to enumerate or to list by speaking. Again, here's that verb for fari, to speak. Oh, where are we? Okay, and then we're down here. Nor will it disgust me to have remembered, or displease me to have remembered my, we assume, Elissa. Elissa is a little pet name for Dido. While I myself am mindful of myself, while breath rules these limbs. So he's saying, I will never, deny this, and it won't disgust me to remember these things. And he says, I will speak a few things pro re, in defense of my conduct. This is legal jargon. I neither hoped to hide this flight through trickery, don't imagine it, ne finge, negative imperative, nor did I ever, right, numquam is never, umquam is ever, so nor did I ever hold out the torches of a husband or come into these agreements. So he's like, I never actually married you. Like, what you thought was a marriage, not actually true. If the fates allowed me to lead my life by my own auspices, right, according to my own authorities, and to arrange my cares with my own will, by my own will, then we assume I would cherish the Trojan city first, and the sweet leavings of my own people. The lofty roofs of Priam would remain, and I would have positioned a renewed Pergamon for the conquered ones by my hand, right? So he's saying, like, if I had my druthers, I would actually still be in Troy. So Dido's like, wow, thanks. That's not the answer I wanted. Okay. But now, Grenadian Apollo, and, where's my and? Oh, maybe it's asyndeton. Grenadian Apollo, the Lycian oracles order me, we assume, to take Italy. Great Italy, right? So he's being, right, fate, the oracles, they're telling him that he needs to seek Italy. This is love. This is the fatherland, or the homeland. If the citadels of Carthage and the site of the Libyan city holds you or detains you as a Phoenician, right, so this is her homeland, then, sort of like, finally, at last, what envy is it for the, that the Trojans settle the Ausonian land? This does say scan for practice. If you want to scan this line, I don't know. Actually, can I get a pen here? Ooh, maybe. Well, maybe I can't get a pen. Maybe. Oh, there we go. All right. Quai tund. Oh dear, that's not a good line. Where's my undo? Why is this so thick? Sorry, this is not good television. All right, foot line there. This is an elision. That's a, what you call it, diphthong. Short. Uh-oh. That's a terrible short. I can't zoom in is the problem. Oh gosh. And then that long A at the end of Ausonia is long. Teucros is long, which makes that a foot. Os is long. Con is long. Then you have Dura. Oh dear, you can't see that. Dura. Short. Come on, short. There we go. And long. This is a good one to scan for practice because you have lots of diphthongs and you have an elision, all the good stuff. Okay, anyway. So, what envy is there? Back to laser pointer. What envy is there for the Trojans to settle Ausonian land? And it is right that we seek foreign kingdoms. Okay, now this gets a little complex, right? Because you have quotients. So he's like, as often as the night covers the land with dewy shadows, as often as the fiery stars rise. This is tough because, which was down here, right? Patros and Kizai, right there. Anything else over here? The construction of fas est, right? So fas est is sort of like necessa est. Just kind of goes together. It takes an accusative and an infinitive. You've got assonance here with the mentibus umbris. You have a contrary to fact condition here, right? If the fates allowed me, then this other thing would have happened, but it didn't, so I won't. The using lumina for the eyes is metonymy, all this good stuff. And I think we're the troubled ghost or image, and then we have to use the patris anchisae from the previous. So the troubled ghost of Father Anchises, Teret me, that came from the previous page too, from line 352, terrifies me and warns me in my sleep or in my dreams. The boy Ascanius and the injuries of his dear head, we assume, like, move me. And whom I cheat out of the kingdom of the Hesperii and the fated fields. Now even the interpreter of the gods, having been sent by Jupiter himself, I swear on both heads, or on each head, right? We assume of Ascanius and his father, brought down orders through the swift breezes. I myself saw the god in clear light entering the walls. And I drank in the voice with these ears. He's like, I saw it myself. It was not secondhand knowledge. I saw it myself. And he says, cease or stop to inflame me and you with your complaints. Ooh, not a good thing to say to an angry woman. I do not follow Italy, right? Or I don't seek Italy sponte, by my own will, right? So this is probably one of the worst things you can say to a woman when you're trying to break up with her, when she just caught you trying to sneak away with your entire fleet. Not a good plan, Aeneas. Anastrophe here is because it's ab Ioe ipso, right? That should be together, but it's separated. That's anastrophe. And fun. Hey, that wasn't that long. Enjoy.